There's some big threat out there, and you are going to help me stop it.
Hello.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw this last week at the fan screening, and it's one of my favorite movies in years.
No way.
It's incredible. I cried, I laughed, I loved it.
Yes.
And I really feel like you are at the heart of this. It's you and Bob. It's Yelena and Bob. And so can you talk about working with Lewis to craft that relationship?
Yeah, I love Lewis. I mean, I've known that I was going to be doing a second movie for a while now, and when I met him, I was just so grateful that we, got along in such a beautiful way, but we had so much laughter in between every single take that you see on camera, like from his face to my face. Every single setup, we are just pissing ourselves and then like restraining our faces to stop like tweaking in all the ways that it does. It was so lovely.
I will say, I saw this movie last week at the fan event, and this is one of my favorite movies in years. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love your relationship. Alexi and Yelena at the heart of this made me cry a couple of times, a couple of conversations. But what was it like getting to explore that relationship a little bit deeper?
I mean, you know, Florence and I knew we had something really special on Black Widow, and we hoped that we'd be able to do it again. So when we came back to this, we were adamant. We had rehearsals, and we were adamant, she even more so than me, and I'm usually the one who's having to argue for stuff, but she was like, we need to layer this relationship, make it as deep and realistic as possible, especially with a family member that we've lost, and what has been the emotional response to that? How are they not talking to each other? Why are they not talking to each other? How are they going to get over that hump? What are they going to have to say? And we labored and labored and labored over it. And I'm so happy that we did, because I'm so proud of you don't get that much screen time in these movies to do something deeply complex like that. You got a lot of action, you got a lot of stuff. And I feel like, especially working with her, we really laid in something really nice. And I'm really happy about that.
Amazing. I mean, like I said, I heard that line, Daddy, when you said that, I was like, no. I love them so much. So you're amazing. And real quick, I do want to ask you, who do you think's the better dad? Is it Hopper or Alexi?
Oh, God. I mean, Harbour for sure. Harbour for sure. But Alexi's trying.
He tried so hard.
Alexi's really trying.
Awesome. What was it like that you actually got to be on screen with your counterpart?
It was amazing. I've been wanting to work with Florence for like ever, and it was like on my bucket list, and I can't believe that I actually finally got to be in a scene with Florence Pugh. Such goals.
Yeah, because when you play a younger version of someone, you never are on screen.
Exactly. You're like, wait, I'm actually in a scene with my older self. That's weird. That's trippy.
What was that like on set, getting to like hang out with her and actually be in a scene?
She's amazing. She's so talented and genuine. It's so hard to find such genuine people like Florence, and she's truly so sweet. Like when you're around her, there's like magic in the air. She's amazing.
And then I do have to talk about Megan. Okay, because we have seen a trailer now.
Okay, yep.
So we know she is friend, not foe.
Yeah.
Or it seems that way.
Seems that way, yeah.
So what's your reaction to that? Like when you found out, you guys bring her back.
I was excited, and I was like, oh, how are we going to do this? And Megan 2.0 is literally like upgraded. Like it's everything you loved in the first film is in the second film, but even better.
I'm so excited. I think that was the perfect use of Britney Spears' song.
Yep.
Too.
Oh my gosh, for sure. I was like, on point with the music. Oh my gosh.
It's perfect. I know you can't talk too much about it, but what was your reaction when you read the script?
I didn't realize it was going to be so deep, I think. I think I was shocked by how complex it actually was, like the base level of it, and how it's not just about fighting, it's about like people, Yeah. And I think that's something that I was surprised to see and also so happy to see, because I get to be a part of that and also help that, Yeah. My character helps prove that, and I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that this movie is like not afraid to get dark and show the dark side of mental health,
Exactly, and I think it's so important to, it's a Marvel movie that's talking about mental health in general, which I think is crazy, and for people watching, I think it opens up a conversation and makes it so much more mainstream. If you have a Marvel film that has explosions and punches, but also an actual real conversation behind it.
Yeah. And then I love Violet so much. What was it like working with her?
I love her so much. She's the sweetest person ever. Oh my God. Day one, we were in the tutoring room together because we're both children, and just immediately we became friends like that. She's like 2.5 years younger than me, but I love her so much, and she's just the sweetest person ever.
I watched this last week at the fan event, and it is one of my favorite movies in years.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
It's so incredible.
From your mouth to America and the world's ears.
I mean, it reminds me of like the original Avengers, where you have these people getting together and trying to figure out how their dynamic works, but like with a twist and something we've never seen before.
Yeah, I think we always talked about wanting to really live up to and honor the legacy of the Avengers and all these great movies that have been made at this studio that people love, but get there from a different angle and take a different route along the way.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I cried multiple times.
Okay, but you laughed and
I did. I laughed. I cried. I cheered.
All the things cheered.
Yeah.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things. Yeah.
But I love that this movie does not shy away from like mental health, depression. Can you talk about the importance of putting that on screen?
I think that, it's less that it felt important and more that it just felt sort of honest in a way where, one of the big ideas in Beef that Sonny Lee Sung-jin, who created it, was talking about, and he worked on this movie as well, was that he really believed that these ideas were not niche issues anymore, that these were universal themes, and at this point, everyone could at least admit to having a moment where they felt low or things didn't work out, whether it doesn't have to have a diagnosis to be relatable. And it felt like there was an opportunity with these characters in particular that just felt like maybe the most honest story that you could tell about them.
I gotta say, I loved this movie so much. I love that I saw it at the fan screening
so
last
no
week.
spoilers though.
No spoilers,
Okay.
but I do love how it really combines humor and heartache like so well. Can you talk about finding that balance?
God, it's a great question that's so hard to answer. I don't remember really. I think that I always tend to lean towards a laugh.
Yeah.
And I think Jake, our director, is a little bit darker. And I remember seeing the final cut. I was like, whoa, he went to some really dark places.
Yeah.
And I think he was right. And I think that what we can rely on is how charming and wonderful our cast is, and how you get invested in these people who you can tell are broken right from the beginning. Broken is not the right word. Or tell are hurting.
They're hurting. Yeah.
They're hurting, and they've looked for healing and not found it. So now they're lashing out, and then to find each other, the last kind of group of people that you'd ever expect to build one another up. That's that was the real fun, because then you get to the whole time they get to complain and yell at each other.
It is fun.
But the whole time I hope that the audience is seeing like, wow, they're not so dissimilar, and maybe if they actually just listen to one another for a second, they might really grow.
So I want to talk to you about finding that balance between like, this is funny, but it's heartbreaking and it's devastating. What was it like finding that balance in the writing?
I think we knew sort of where the heartbreak was going to be, and so you sort of know you're building to it. But I think using humor to connect people is one of the, it's like kind of the best cheats to get there. Is if we're laughing with them and if they're laughing together, we understand that they can kind of start to trust each other a little bit better. And so then you've also earned that heartbreak later. One, the audience is going to like it hurt more because you've laughed, and then also we understand why characters might become more vulnerable in front of each other. So I think you need both.
Yeah, and what is it like having such an ensemble to write for? I mean, these are some great characters. They must have been really fun.
It was so fun. I think it was really fun to come into this world and sort of use the like superhero identities. Is you're like, oh, these are really specific characters, and then you're like, but how do they actually communicate with each other? Finding that language was really fun, and that was sort of, that was the most fun, was like, how do they, it's less about them individually and more about how they come together.
And then everyone's talking about the asterisk. Can you give me a fake what the asterisk means?
It means we couldn't come up with a better title, and we're sorry.
I love it. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. I saw this last week, and it's amazing. It's so good. Have you guys gotten to see it all yet?
No. It's crazy. It's weird that the answer is in its total finished state. We have not seen it yet. No. So we're pretty excited to walk in there.
Yeah, we can't wait.
What is it like for you guys because there's so many characters from so many different things with different themes, and you're trying to incorporate all that. What is that like, and then still bring something new theme-wise?
I think that one thing that we realized very early on was that we didn't want to make it like a theme, like so compartmentalized with the themes, where it's like per character, which is typical of like maybe a superhero movie, Marvel movie, but with this film, it's so much less about the individuals and so much more, I feel like, about the collective.
Yeah.
So we really focused on themes that were about their relationships and as well as their dysfunctions and things like that, rather than trying to like kind of like get to marry all these different elements. It was more about kind of like scoring the collective energy rather than the individual energy.
Yeah, that's right.
You are fantastic at putting together these casts. It's insane.
It's fun. I love it. I feel very lucky to be able to do it and to have this long run and see casts like this come together. It's been, 15 years since we first saw Bucky Barnes.
That's crazy.
Saw Sebastian audition,
And he's in every single phase, right?
Phase, right? I know. I just noticed that because he goes all the way back to the first Captain America.
Crazy.
All the way through Phase 5, and I guess this is the last film in Phase 5. See, it's a lot.
It's a lot
to keep track of.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, how fun is it for you to see these characters continue on? It's not like you're casting for one shot movie,
It's so gratifying and so exciting for me to see it because it means not only have they done a good job, but that they're enjoying playing the part, the fans are enjoying seeing them in the part, and that people want those storylines to continue.
Yeah, and then now you mix different people together that probably you never even expected. So what is it like to see that, these people actually have chemistry? I didn't even put them together to start with.
Oh, it's amazing. It's incredible. It's goosebumps inducing. It's like Florence Pugh with this group of people now, and Wyatt, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and David Harbour, and Wendell Peace. I could go on and on to see each one of them. And then you have an incredibly talented director like Jake Schreier, who had such a clear vision, who was the perfect person to assemble this particular team and make it gritty and emotional, but also funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
I think this movie is going to surprise people, and I can't wait for fans to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, I laughed, I cried, I cheered. I was like the happiest Marvel fan in the whole world watching it.
Giving Endgame?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, for real. I was like, this is the first time I've been very excited like this in a while.
That's awesome. I love to hear that.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm out in the sun,
Yeah.
A good weekend.
There you go.
Been in LA from my home in Atlanta, so Crystal Palace got into the FA Cup final, so it's been a fantastic week. Yeah, it's been a good week.
And now your character is on the big screen.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was cool. I got to work on the film a little bit, so I got to consult with them and talk to the director a little bit about the why of the Sentry. And I think, from what I understand, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I understand, people are really into it. It really came through.
Yeah, so I've seen it.
Okay.
And it's dark in a good way.
Yeah, but it's emotional, right?
I cried multiple times.
So I hear, right? So here's the thing, when I got to talk to them, I said to Jake, and I said, look, if he becomes for people struggling with mental health what Black Panther became for people of color.
Yeah.
I think that every one of us struggles with just existing. I think we have family members who maybe passed from Alzheimer's or any of these things. We all struggle with this stuff.
Yeah.
And because we're struggling with this stuff, you need to see a character like Sentry. One of the things, the prevalence of the character now, people seeing him, I get people write to me every day and say, thank you for creating the character. And it's pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, I think it's important to see that stuff on screen, for sure.
Yeah, and I think, what's happened is Marvel are really well known for blockbusters. They're really good at doing these massive films. But you'll find a Guardians of the Galaxy or a Black Panther or hopefully Thunderbolts in all of this, and you'll see that they're not just doing these big blockbusters, that sometimes there's something that means something. Everything I've heard about the film, I haven't seen it yet, but everything I've heard about the film is that it's really great. And it actually takes me back to an interesting meeting I had with Kevin Feige when I first started working at Marvel, and he kind of looked me in the eye and he said, I want you to know that I think Sentry is our best movie.
Yes.
And I was like, oh man, that's really cool. So finally he's making it,
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. Sentry's so good in this. I can't wait for you to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him. And I hope that people get from him what was intended, which is that we're all in this together and that they can see themselves in it,
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.